Have you ever been perusing cards for sale at a card show and are amazed at how many seem to be listed so high above recent comps? You've probably been the victim of sunk cost fallacy. What is sunk cost fallacy? According to Grammarly.com, and no, I am not sponsored, the sunk cost fallacy is a logical fallacy that entails sticking with a losing or failed venture because you've already invested a significant amount of time, money, or other resources that you can't get back. It hinges on the idea that because you've already incurred costs, the need to stick with the endeavor in order to get your money's worth. In sports cards, sunk cost fallacy is often seen when someone decides what price to sell something at, not based on its current market value, but based on how much money they have into it. They invested so much in this card and they don't want to lose that money now. But the catch is you aren't losing money if you sell the card. You're perhaps not making as much as you originally spent, but you're certainly making more than if you didn't sell at all. So let's say you bought that LeBron James rookie card for $1,000, but now let's say that same card is going for $500 regularly. If you just want to keep it for your personal collection forever, no problem. The current market price doesn't matter that much to you. You just keep it and you go on with your life. Or if you do want to sell it, but you're in no rush to do so, and you think that the value of that specific card will eventually go up again at some point, cool, good on you. You can hold on to that as a temporary personal collection card and do something else with it later if you so choose. But if you're actually actively trying to sell it now, like putting it up for sale at a card show or something, then the amount you paid for it should have little to no bearing on anything. It's either going to be you try to sell it for right around the current market value, or you just don't sell it. Well, I guess there's always the third option of trying to find a fool who just doesn't know any better. But this is an option that if you're doing it at a card show or even on eBay, it's really kind of like shooting yourself in the foot more often than not, even if you do make a sale here and there. If I come up to your table and I see that card listed for a significant amount over normal comps, I'm likely to assume that most of your table is filled up with bad deals. If I'm feeling patient, maybe I'll consider looking at a few additional cards on your table to make sure, but if those two are listed over going price, I'm pretty much certain to move on without paying much attention to what else you got on your table. Who knows, it could be the case that 80% of your table is actually filled up with cards that have very fair or even better than fair prices, but if what I happen to glance at first is a card or two that are really just listed way too high, I'm unlikely to stick around long enough to explore those better deals that you're offering. By overpricing a few of your cards, you've just lost a potential customer on a bunch of other cards I might very well have been interested in buying. The sunk cost fallacy has struck, and you and I have both lost out as a result. For those 20% of cards that you're pricing too high, even if you simply took them off the table, it'd likely be better for your overall sales. It's better to not display them for sale at all than to list them so high. If you list them for so high, you're just scaring away potential customers, many of whom will just assume yours is one of those tables to just kind of avoid. If you don't want to sell that card for the going market price, then you really don't want to sell that card. Why even bother setting up a card show booth if you don't want to sell cards? Seems counter to the whole point of setting up a booth in the first place. Take it off the table. Sell your other cards.